Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 11th of April. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Appen, Brickworks, ARAC Minerals, METALX and Westgold Resources. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you are getting our free newsletter, but our best stock tips come out on Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report, so please ensure you are getting that report. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is on the management side, so if you'd like my help managing your share portfolio, please give me a call. And all the advice here is general only. So I've got a daily chart here of Appen. Obviously it's been sliding for a few years now, but short term it's starting to look pretty interesting. So if we sort of zoom into what's been happening in the past few months, it's had this sort of rally here on quite an increase in volumes, pulled back, and then we could see for a few days here just sort of sideways tightening up the range with volumes drying up, and then it started to break higher again. So a little sort of breakout here, a couple of days sideways, and then another couple of decent days and the volume coming back in. So looks interesting for at least a short-term trade. Potentially would be looking at retesting this peak here, and obviously if you can get through that, you'd be eyeing this gap all the way up near $2. Okay, Brickworks. So if we look at a weekly chart, sort of at first glance, it looks like you've got a bit of an uptrend there, but look, it is, we do have the stock breaking support here. So if we're looking at the higher lows, it's sort of broken that low now. And we can see that it has come back pretty sharply on big volumes. So not a good sign. And also possible head and shoulders top. So if you're looking at possible sort of head and shoulders there, and it's now broken that. So, you'd be projecting down to, especially again with the breaking support, with the volumes on the downside, you'd be looking at a possible move into the 24s. Okay, ARAC. So, weekly chart, we could see just a big downtrend. I mean, on the daily, potentially it's starting to level out. But I think that, you've got some obvious sort of resistance here at 20 cents. So I think ideally you need to, might base build for a while and ideally break above 20 cents. And then it might start to look interesting, but too early to be buying this one. METALX. So if we sort of more start off with the weekly, we could see that, for quite a period of time here, it was sort of trading sideways in a base, tightening range, and then it sort of broke out here. So several weeks ago, we got a buy signal. It has run hard. So as we could see on the daily, especially sort of this movement here, run pretty hard. So, it is vulnerable to some profit taking, and clearly you've got, the stock is back testing this peak here, but ultimately what it could potentially do is form a cup and handle. So if it can, if we do see some selling and it can basically just move sideways for a period of time here without pulling back too far, then you have a big cup and handle, and that would be very interesting because a break of this line would then be the next buy signal, and you'd end up with a decent move. Westgold, so obviously been generally moving higher since the end of 2022, but if we have a look at the daily chart, it's a lot of volatility's come into the stock now. So sort of sharp moves down, and then obviously this rally up here, and it was clearly sold down pretty heavily after that move. So couldn't even hold on to nearby support levels, just sort of slicing through support. Big volume on the way down. So basically it's looking quite dangerous here, and I think it needs to settle down. We need to see price action looking a little bit more like what we had in the past. So really needs to settle down. But yeah, just too dangerous at the moment. Okay, well that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through and I'll try to cover it next Thursday.